I actually feel like I've got a better kind of package and feeling with the bike on the Superbike, because I ride that every week in Superbikes. It's actually the bike I feel more comfortable on. I feel like most people in the Superstock category are able to find a setting where they're happy and comfortable to push, because the Superstock bike's far more versatile and more forgiving. So it makes that category far more difficult to, or more stacked. Yep. Basically, with the narrow window of operating on a Superbike makes it really hard to find a sweet setting for around here. So the fact that I feel comfortable on the Superbike made me feel like that was a class that I would have a better chance in. But having said that, I'll take my chances in every class. I won't discriminate against a result in any class. So yeah, the next one for me on the list is the Superstock, if we can get that to go ahead today. So I'd really be pleased to try and get a good result. Hello. There you go. Thank you. You're too kind. I'll just give you a quick background of who I am. I'm Josh Brooks. I'm from Australia, western suburbs of Sydney. I grew up in. Started racing on road racing tarmac circuits in 2000. British Superbike team I was racing for, I come to the Isle of Man and watched, and they had John McGuinness and Steve Plater as their riders that were competing at the Isle of Man. And I just came as a guest to watch. And within 5 minutes of being here, I knew it was somewhere I was going to race one day. It wasn't actually until 2013 that I got my first chance to race the Isle of Man TT, and I became the fastest ever newcomer. Set a lap time, a race average speed of 127.7, which the previous best before that was Steve Plater, and he had a 125 point something or other. So it was a good step more, and my my best lap had actually got beat the following year by who's now my teammate, Peter Hickman. I'm sure you're familiar with that name. I raced here in 13 and 14, and then I had 2 years off because of the contract I had for racing the British Superbikes. Didn't permit me to do the TT. Then I had 2 years off and come back again in 17 and 18 and rode the Norton. And then I had another 5 years off again because of the team I was racing for in British Superbikes didn't compete at the Isle of Man, so I wasn't able to come back and race again. In more recent years, I think particularly because the speeds are so much higher. I mean, in the years when they were racing in wet conditions, the fastest lap was probably 120 mile an hour. You know, where average lap speed is now 136. You know, it's far surpassed those times. So I think in trying to, although this event will never be perfectly safe, I think in trying to create some balance, they've removed any sessions that's in wet conditions from the event. So we don't even bring a wet weather tyre. It's only when the track's completely dry. And I say completely dry, there are times when there's wet patches and they give us enough information before we start to know where to look when we're going to expect some damp, and it is genuinely damp for everybody, you know, so no one has some special advantage. It's just the track needs to be, let's say, most parts 95% dry all the way around, and they'll then start the practice. So in that case, we'll still run on the fully slick tyres for dry weather, meaning we'll run the same suspension settings and gearing and everything like it would be. So apart from the normal general bike preparation before each session, the weather isn't going to change anything. Generally, the track doesn't generate a lot of grip compared to short circuit, closed circuit racing. The grip level is a lot lower because it's a public road. But if you've been around the circuit, you'll see after the racing the other day, the track has what we call rubbered in, and there are distinct lines where you can see the rubbers you know, pressed into the road. When it's like that, the track grip and lap time will improve. So now we've had rain and obviously all the traffic going around with the wet road, it will have cleaned all that rubber off. So the full potential of the lap time is reduced now, but it won't change how we set the bike. It will still remain with the same settings on the motocross. patches, but nothing that's going to...
Nothing like yesterday.
Nothing like yesterday.
Right. How are conditions out there?
Yeah, quite good. There are a couple of wet patches. Nothing that's like as bad as what we had yesterday afternoon, but you know, they definitely need to be. We definitely need to be pay attention to them with the wind. Although we've had wind a lot during the week since the beginning, but it was a lot more blustery then. It made it quite difficult to read the attitude of the bike going into the race.
You need to stand back and
And have a look.
See
how it blends in.
What's it like now? Good?
The track?
Yeah.
It's still some patches, dodgy little spots, but nothing like yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday was difficult to know what to do.
And the wind?
Bad.
But like in your, like over the mountain in your nose, or just all?
Nah, on the side, just like blustery.
That fries my head.
Yeah, that's what sort of unsettled me quite a lot then. I was like riding the corner, it was like... Similar to yesterday, greasy. Going into the nook, it's dry into the nook, but then once you drop in, it's kind of like, oh, it's dark, and I don't know if it's dry or wet. It just looks shitty. Exit of Braddon Bridge, there's patches. Morning we had a 3-lap Super Twin race. Didn't go really that well. Bike wouldn't start again in the pit stop, so I lost some time, but even without that issue, the bike wasn't fast enough to be competitive. We then set about focusing on the 3-lap Super Stock race, but just moments before we were scheduled to go up to the start line area, the heavens have opened again here at the Isle of Man, and everything's been called off for today because the weather's turned bad and it's set in really, so it'll be poor weather for the rest of the day, we believe. So they're looking at a revised schedule for tomorrow, so nothing more to do today but pain and misery. No, I haven't been out. We'll get straight into it. So, nice to start with. Start by introducing yourself. Start fishing yet, or you just arrived? Yeah, today. Oh no, you haven't got the full effect. Yeah. You do kind of like this.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Like
Wow. So you come back in the seat and down the straight. You're up in the tank now, yeah, as close to the tank. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Always the house kind of like.
Yeah.
If we're around.
It might come as a surprise. There actually isn't anything you can do to prepare for this event. Obviously, the mechanical side of things is there's a lot of prep involved, but as a rider, there's no simulator or onboard video you can watch that's really going to change how you go about riding. The only way to go quicker is through sensation conditioning. So the only way for me to get through Bray Hill quicker is for me to go through Bray Hill quicker than the last time and get used to going through it quicker. And that's through sensation conditioning. You know, if I go through there at, 170 mile an hour, that feels like fast to me. And then if I go through at 175, that feels like I'm on the edge. But if I do 175, 20 laps in a row, 175 starts to feel like my normal, and I want to try and achieve 180. So it's all about, trying to improve your sensation conditioning, and the only way to do that is here doing laps. So as much as we'd all like to get an advantage on our competition, and we all sit there on the laptop watching onboard laps and so on, we can pick up, he changes his gear just before that kink, or I change just after that kink, but these little bits are just half a second, not going to change you from a 10th place rider to a winner. It's only going to maybe bring you a little bit closer to the guy in ninth. It's just purely the track time here on these 2 weeks that dictates where you can potentially grow and improve to. At least it's there. What happened? Like how can the fuel tank fucking have such a vacuum on it?
Have a look at that hole. So I think the pipe on there is not sucking air to the tank. It's just not getting air into the vent.